Today is June 7th. The Yankees are about to start a 3-game series against the Twins. Some familiar faces. Let's talk Yanks.
Talking Yanks with old John Boy, Jake.
It's a good stance for me.
Recaps galore, weekly awards, stat lines, steaming hot takes. Get your Yankees news from these two fine dudes. It's time for Talkin' Yanks. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake. Talking Yanks with old John Boy and Jake.
Hello and welcome to Talkin' Yanks, presented to you by SeatGeek. My name is Jimmy. His name is Jake. And producer BBD is in the corner. Thank you very much for joining us on this midweek episode where we will discuss a sharp stat presented by the Queen of Stats. We will talk a little bit about this upcoming Twins series, check in on some old friends over in Minnesota, guess the lineup, and maybe look at some past trades that have been made in the month of June, because they're pretty rare, but sometimes the most helpful, because you get a guy for longer than usual. And it's brought to you by SeatGeek, like I said. And if you want to go watch a game or a play or a concert, you want to go somewhere where a seat's involved, you can probably get tickets for it at SeatGeek, and they make it so you can find the best deal, not just the cheapest deal, but you're going to get the best bang for your buck. So go to SeatGeek and get yourself some tickets to show. Have a date night. Use code YANKS to get $20 off your first purchase. Young Jake, how do you do on this fine Tuesday?
Jimothy, Davis, Wimbledon, everyone live with us. Happy Tuesday to you. No Tuesday blues over here. I'm doing well. Little Yankees off day yesterday. An off day coming up next Monday. Keep that pen rested. I'm doing well. I'm excited to see the Twins. Did you just take a bite out of that?
I thought you were going to talk for longer, and you threw it to me as soon as I took a bite.
I wasn't throwing it to you. I was just asking a question. I got more.
Keep going.
Okay, I'll keep going. Excited to see this Twins team. They are currently the leaders in the AL Central. The rest of the AL Central looks like a disaster so far. And we're going to see Gary and Gio, and they're going to have facial hair, and we're going to laugh. And Gary will hit a home run.
And Gio will make a nice play.
And Gio will make a nice play, and all will be all right in the world. And the Yankees will win the series, because that's what the Yankees do. So, and by the way, I think the Twins, they're still TBD for who's pitching.
Thought it was Bailey Ober.
That's what popped up. I just did a Twins radio thing, and they said their pitching's TBD for this series. So I don't know if it's.
I don't know if they've officially announced. The website I use for a lot of it is saying Cole Sands tonight.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Cole Sands?
Sands.
Sands what?
What's he without?
Without being in my book.
So his
And it
name is
says-
just like...
MLB.com is saying Sands tonight. Sands Archer Bundy is what MLB.com
Sands
has right now.
means without.
Without.
Cole Sands.
Cole Sands winning.
My grandma has a lot of Cole Sands. Cold hands joke.
Tyone, Cortez, and Cole. Shout out Grammy. So, yeah, excited to talk about it. Some sharp stats. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's
Poppy.
cold in our office right now.
Yeah.
I do think this is going to be the one of the best offenses our pitching staff has faced. No. I'm on the 2021, which doesn't make sense because they were bad. I'm good. The Yankees have the best OPS plus in all of baseball. The Twins have the third. They're the second best in the AL. So maybe it is a nice that we have our good guys going.
They got a good lineup.
But we're throwing our two aces and Tyone. Our three aces?
Our three aces. 3 of our 5 aces go today.
Our top 3 guys, I think you'd say that.
Sevy?
I think Tyone and Nestor have been better.
overall.
Tyone Cole have been better of late.
Tyone and Sevy's an interesting conversation. We'll do that hour 3.
Tyone's been like
He's been really good.
Might be the best.
I don't think he's had, like, we've been measuring people on Talkin' Baseball by, like, number of good starts. I think he has probably among the fewest clunkers. Not that anyone really has had any.
But his last two were
Two hitters.
Yeah.
Two hitters. Like, he might be the best of late.
Severino's last start was one hit that wasn't a hit. It's a fun conversation.
8 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run for Tyone. Last 2 starts.
It's crazy.
Oh, my goodness gracious. You know, I've been saying that a lot.
Really?
Yes.
That's new for you.
Yes.
It's exciting.
I was walking around the house the other day, and I kept saying it, and then I said, shut the hell up. And then Katie thought I was talking to her at James. She's like, who are you telling to shut up? And I was like, me. She said, why? I said, because I keep saying my goodness gracious all the time, and I don't like it. It's a dweeby thing to say nonstop.
Part of the show.
Dude,
now.
I commute on a scooter to work once, and I just turn into a dork.
Goober. I think that's a popular word. I can't believe Jerry Blevins is openly calling Pete Alonso a goober.
Well, he is.
I know, but still, like putting it in tweets and stuff, like it's out there.
Yeah. Some people aren't that offended
I
by
have
that word.
goober as a pretty big insult.
Me too.
Yeah.
Well, we
Goober is a pretty big
jokingly
dig.
called a guy goober for a while.
Yeah.
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 But Katie will sometimes say, like, you're a goober. And I'm like, ho, ho, ho.
Right.
Would you
Back
off.
off.
My goodness gracious.
Okay.
That's rude. Anyway.
Poppy needs him some sharp stats.
Sharp stats. These are the stats. They're the sharpest stats. Don't touch these stats. You'll cut yourself.
Hey guys, it's the Queen of Stats, and you know what? We really just don't talk about Aaron Judge enough, all right? So I'm going to talk about Aaron Judge. Now we know that he's having this fantastic MVP season, and I want to key in on one specific thing that I think is really driving his performance this season. And the fact is that he's not just doing all of his damage versus fastballs. He's also crushing the bendy stuff, and specifically sliders. Now, why is that important? So I'm just going to give you a little bit of context here. Across the major leagues, batters are seeing the highest percentage of sliders in the tracked era, the pitch tracking era, which dates back to 2008. So now the rate is up to 21% for all of MLB. That's percentage of sliders that are being seen. And it's 25% of Judge. So he's seeing a slider 1 out of every 4 pitches. So this is really important that he's performing so well against them. And just for some more context here, and just remember these numbers when we think about what the league is doing against sliders this year. They have a .210 batting average, a .340 slugging percentage, a 34% swing and miss rate, and a 21% put away rate, which is basically the percentage of 0-2 sliders that are converted to strikeouts. So now remember those numbers. Judge versus sliders this year, a .381 batting average, an .833 slugging percentage, a 32% swing and miss, so slightly better than average, and a 13% put away rate, which is much better than average. It's basically the same as what he's doing against four-seamers, which is a .371 batting average and an .866 slugging percentage. Now, just for some even more context, that .833 slugging that I mentioned is the 3rd highest among the more than 200 players that have seen at least 100 sliders this season, and his .381 batting average is the 4th highest in that group. So last year, just to compare that, he was above average, but just barely. He hit .274 and had a .443 slugging percentage with a 37% swing and miss and a 20% put away rate. So what he's doing against sliders this year is pretty ridiculous, and I think that's one of the keys to why he's been so good this year.
The queen and the king, basically.
Let's talk about Aaron Judge versus sliders this year.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable. Thank you to the Queen of Stats for tuning us in. Jake, the numbers we just heard are nuts.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Good numbers off a tough pitch usually are average numbers, you know?
Right.
Like if a guy is hitting 260 with a 340 and a 450 slug or 420 slug off of a slider, you're like, oh, Like, he doesn't get got by those. He handles them well. Judge has a 381 batting average and an 833 slugging percentage versus sliders. So not only is he putting them in play and getting hits, but he's getting extra base hits. And the 12% put away, which is half the league average of 24, meaning if he's got 2 strikes on him and he's throwing a slider, he only strikes out on it 12% of the time. Which, let's simplify that to like 1 out of 10. That's a put away pitch for a lot of players, and other guys are struggling with that 1 out of 4.
Math pod.
And Judge is 1 out of 10. Now I did some. Sure. I lowered 12 to 10 there.
Right.
To do simpler math, and then I upped 24 to 25. So I played with the margins a little bit.
We're adjusting the margin.
I adjusted the margins a little bit, but
butter pod.
You can say basically the average player 1 out of 4 times he sees a slider with 2 strikes is going to strike out. But Judge, only 1 out of 10 times.
Jimmy, I'm going to cook some more numbers for you.
Yeah, dice them up.
Almost unrelated even. It goes back to your first point where you had me. You lost me a little bit, I'll be honest. But you started talking about when a player's good against something, like player's good against slider, that it's like, oh, he actually hits 280 versus sliders. Do you remember, I think it was Baby Gleyber Torres was one of the better, I think, 2 out hitters in baseball or 2 strike hitters in baseball, and like that was a thing, and it was like, Gleyber Torres, maybe it was Andujar even when 2018, but it was like, yeah, when he has 2 strikes, he still hits 271, and it's like, oh, wow, that's impressive. What Judge is doing is insanity. It's insanity. The fact that he's hitting the slider, which has been kind of the pitch of baseball in recent years, people upping their cutter slider usage because it's the quick break, it's the late break, that's what's more effective than the old Barry Zito looping curveball or Andy Pettit in Yankee cultures, he says.
And Yankee cultures.
Jim, I just dug something up.
Oh, no.
And you're actually going to love this.
Okay.
Because, James, there's one outlier that we didn't mention. So Aaron Judge is crushing fastballs. We know that. Aaron Judge is crushing slider curveballs type pitches. There's one pitch that's currently his weakness.
Oh, no.
They have it labeled as off-speed.
Changeup.
Changeup splitters are labeled the same way.
No. Well, sinkers, yeah. Splitters, yeah.
Splitters,
Split
change, fork, and screwball.
Yeah.
Will be there. Those are the only pitches that he's currently struggling against. Now, Jimmy, I said, what does that mean?
What does it mean?
And I said, you know what's interesting?
What?
There's not a lot of relief pitchers that are fastball changeup guys anymore. You know, Trevor Hoffman was famously the Hall of Fame closer. But normally guys coming out of the bullpen nowadays, they have a fastball and a wipeout slider curveball type pitch. That's like 80% of bullpens. More math for you. So I said...
That was a guess.
I said if Aaron Judge is really good against fastballs and sliders, he must be killing relief pitching, which normally I make as an excuse for hitters. Or even on the broadcast, we talk about, oh, this hitter's going to see 4 different pitchers and 4 at-bats today. That sucks, right? Aaron Judge against relief pitchers this year, 90 plate appearances. He's hitting 346, 393 on base with a 1.188.
1.88?
1.188.
If you eliminate that 1?
We would round up to 1.2 here,
okay,
if that helps you.
Yeah.
That's against relief pitchers. That's against the guys coming out of their bullpen that chuck 97 with a 90-mile-per-hour slider. That's Looney Tunes stuff.
It also could be slot pitchers. But yeah, that's great.
There's not a lot of slot pitchers around baseball anymore.
Name one.
Can't. Wouldn't do it.
You wouldn't do it?
I wouldn't do it.
Oh, okay.
Like, dude, even the guys coming out of the Orioles bullpen this year are like flamethrowers.
Pretty gross.
What reliever does he have the most home runs off of?
Which reliever does he have the most home runs off of, is what you're asking me.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to find out.
I would have to look that up. I haven't looked that up, if that's what you're
On
asking.
May 27th, he saw the most amount of off-speed pitches in a single game.
Okay.
Do you want to know who they played on May 27th?
I do.
The Rays.
You hooked me.
The Rays.
Okay.
Because they're smart. That was the Jeffrey Springs game. Jalen Beeks game.
Jalen Beeks. What a name.
That's a bad name. It's a 2 out of 10.
You need to make sure your kids don't have big noses if your name is Jalen Beeks.
Yes.
Like, you almost need to marry someone with a small nose.
Name someone with a small nose.
Yours is towards the smaller side.
Yeah, thanks. Got small ears, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Eeyore. Remember your Eeyore phase? You want to go back to that?
I love ER. He's so funny.
We'll get some Eeyore clips.
I'll
going.
find out what relief pitchers get the most hits off of, since you just hate doing it.
Here's what I'll say. Thank you, the queen of stats, Katie Sharp. Fastballs. A lot of hitters hunt fastballs these days. We know that.
If you're struggling, I had something that I was going to say too.
The slider curveball stuff by Judge is next level, and it's part of the reason why he's such a special baseball player. I guess and this is weird because this normally isn't Jake. You know, I'm always joking. I'm this goofball. I'm positive.
Always joking.
I'm interested to see Judge against like heavy changeup pitchers the rest of the way.
Okay.
To see if that's like the one hole in what's been an MVP type season.
Who's like the biggest changeup pitcher?
I mean, Sevy, but he won't have to face him. Okay.
Who is
Wandy Peralta.
What about the Twins?
Oh, I keep doing Yankees.
What about the Twins? What about Twins?
So you're asking me which guys on the Twins throw the most changeups?
Yeah.
I'd have to really get in the numbers.
We're facing Archer. I don't think he's a changeup guy.
Let's see.
Is Dylan Bundy a changeup guy? He's probably always working on it.
He's working on it. He's always Chris Archer's 11% changeup. That's not too worrisome.
Not too worrisome.
Dylan Ted Bundy. Oh, he used to be in a lot of burns, a lot of early burns.
Yeah. Hey, what's this pitcher's name? Something without? Lance without?
Sands.
His first name.
I don't know.
Cole Sands. And this is a real guy. S-A-N-S?
It's the first I've heard of him. Sands like the beach.
Sand?
Sands, plural, yeah.
I thought we were saying no D the whole time.
It was fun. Fun while it lasted.
Cole Sands. He throws... Dude, he doesn't even throw a changeup.
Okay, so he's getting rocked.
Oh, he does.
Okay.
8% of the time.
Okay.
It gets rocked, dog.
Yeah?
Dude, his changeup, he's thrown 13 of them. 4 hits. Sorry, 2 hits, double and a homer.
Okay.
He only throws it to lefties. He hasn't thrown a single changeup to righties. To righties? So Cole Sands is pitching today?
We think.
He's just fastball, curveball.
That doesn't bode well for Cole Sands. Everything I just heard.
His fastball, this is supposed to be later in the show.
Back cramping. Yeah, this is later in the show.
This is later in the show.
Let's bottle it up. Any final notes on Aaron Judge?
Yeah. I'm going to name some pitchers, and you tell me if they're a starter or reliever.
Okay.
Daniel Lynch.
Starting pitcher.
Alexander Wells.
I think he started for
he's
the
starting
Orioles,
now.
but he might be in the bullpen now.
Spencer Watkins.
Spencer with an S. That was the Orioles guy. I think he started.
He started.
Yeah.
Colin Poche.
Colin Poche is a reliever.
Okay. Jordan Romano, reliever.
What is this game? We're doing home runs hit by Judge?
Yeah.
Okay.
Off relievers. He doesn't have a home run off the same pitcher. Oh, there's only one pitcher he has 2 home runs off of this year.
How about that?
Jordan Lyles.
Jordan Lyles.
Jordan Lyles.
Who he didn't have a homer off of coming into the season. Isn't that baseball, Susan?
What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that is baseball.
I tricked BBD.
He's
in a
not
homer
good.
draft.
He's fabulous.
What do you mean you tricked him?
I read that Judge career didn't have a homer off of Jordan Lyles, so BBD didn't take him, and then Judge hit.
You fell for
homers
that?
off him.
Well, Rizzo also had a bunch of homers off him.
Judge has 11 homers off starting pitchers this year, 10 off relief pitchers.
Vince Velasquez is a starter.
Traditionally.
I think he's been swingman in this year.
Supposed to
over
be a
there.
swing
I
man.
think Judge
Well, when he
faced him
played
this
the
year off
Yankees and Judge homered off him, what do you think it was?
I think he came out with a pen that game. They've
No,
been
he
injured.
started. He started.
He did start that one.
Ryan Burr,
Ooh, cold reliever.
homered.
Yeah.
Dylan Coleman.
Feels like a reliever.
Feels like a reliever, right?
Yeah.
Forgettable. Sorry, Dylan.
Sorry, Dylan.
It was
I
just
won't put that on TV.
Kendall Graveman,
Reliever.
reliever, homered off him.
Yeah, good reliever, too.
Josh Staumont,
Reliever.
reliever, good reliever too. Tanner Tully,
Come on.
future closer,
That's Game of Thrones.
future closer.
House Tully. Reliever.
He is Paul Fry,
Reliever.
Joey Kriebel. That's the Orioles reliever.
That's the Orioles guy. Orioles pitchers kind of don't count. They're,
Eli Morgan.
they're starters and relievers. I think he's relieved.
He's also
think he
starts. I think he
started
started.
this year.
I think he started versus the Yanks.
We've talked to his dad before.
Nice guy.
Nice guy.
14 games, 1 start this year, and I anecdotally believe that start was against the
Yes,
Yankees.
it was. It was.
Yeah.
And Judge clipped him. So, good mix for Judgy.
Sure is.
Base Irvin should be able to give you that split.
Well, I have the starting pitcher, relief pitcher split.
Oh, can you click that and then you can see all the relievers?
No.
Yeah. That would be easier.
Yeah. For sure.
So Judge is good and probably going to stay good. Did you hear Flaherty and Jack Morris on the Peacock game talking about how they'd pitch to Judge? It was an interesting conversation.
I was John and Susan.
So Jack Flaherty was saying, well, usually you'd try to bust him in, but he stands so far away from the plate
Yeah.
that if you bust him in, it's a ball, and he doesn't chase there.
Right.
And like, Judge does stand so far away from the plate.
His batting stance is pretty ridiculous. He kind of gets covered up by Stanton playing a totally different sport, but Judge's batting stance is pretty ridiculous.
really far away from the plate.
It would be
And he's open.
It'd be pretty talked about if not for Stan.
Kind of a wiffle ball stance.
And then, so then they said, then you try to go outside, but he can cover
Yeah.
it because he's so big.
I would aim. Well, now I know the change up. I would just aim at the down and away because it looks so far away. If he beats you there, like you live with it. And if you dot a couple, sometimes the umps
What
give
is
you a couple
this?
low
A
pitches.
Twins podcast? Why are you giving people tips on how to beat Judge?
It's a trick, dude.
Oh.
Because we know the Twins pitching coach listens to our show.
He did, and then we were a little mean.
We were a little mean. Aaron Judge is really good, brought to you by Roman. Are you struggling in the bedroom? Jim, did you just raise your hand?
Both of them. I haven't been getting a lot of sleep, man. Is that what it's about?
You should go to getroman.com/Yanks if you're struggling with ED. That's not Ed. It's erectile dysfunction.
Or my sister's initials. Not that.
It's not that. In fact, 52% of guys age 40 to 70 experience some form of erectile dysfunction. That's more than half, people.
Some
Math.
go in,
Math
grows
class.
the wrong way.
We're trying to take the stigma away from erectile dysfunction. It happens to a lot of guys. Don't be embarrassed. And good news, you can address it. It's not like, hey, my foot's cold. Solution, you put on a sock. Hey, my winky won't get firm.
Put on a sock.
Get in touch with Roman. Go to getroman.com/Yanks now to speak to a U.S. licensed healthcare professional about ED and get $15 off your first month of treatment. That's getroman.com/Yanks today. If you're prescribed, $15 off. Make sure you're Roman ready and in control this summer, like Big AJ.
Baba Bo Doo Doo.
Roman.
Bum ba dum bum bum.
Bum bum. I wanted to look at some June trades. I don't think the Yankees will trade in June. It's rare when it happens. This isn't like anything.
Things are pretty good right now.
Well, things are pretty good, but that's also teams that are looking to get, teams that are very good are looking to get better because they want to, especially when they have the capital to do it, and then someone chasing you doesn't get that piece. Blah blah blah. Teams in contention make trades, but I just wanted to see because if you are able to trade for a guy in June, it's usually a sneaky move that can end up being helpful. So Erica helped us put some together. And the most recent one I remembered was Wandy. I think that was June. Or was it May?
It was April.
Oh, it was April?
Because Talkman was like a weekend.
Oh, yeah, you're right. But Edwin was a big one.
Yeah.
They traded for Edwin Encarnacion in June.
I loved Edwin. Sometimes I forget about that.
You did love Edwin.
I loved Edwin.
You were like you said he was your favorite
God,
Yankee.
he was.
And now what's he doing?
He's just retired, right?
No idea.
I'll reach out.
Remember the car he drove to CC's Gala?
Yeah, sure do.
Yeah. Kareem Garcia, 2003.
My only question to you would be, who is Kareem Garcia?
Do you think that soundbite's on the internet or is it too
Yes.
old?
I've listened to that soundbite on the internet.
And when you search it, you say...
So yeah, Edwin played 44 games for the White
That guy,
Sox.
I don't have anything to prove to that guy. Who are you, Karen Garcia, to try to tell anyone he's a proven player for 10 years? That's what I don't understand. Why would I hit Karen Garcia? You know, hit the corners all day long. That guy, I don't have.
Is that a beat reporter right at the end? Saying you hit the corners all day long?
It was Tori.
Oh, my God. Good times.
Who are you, Kareem Garcia?
There's no coming back from that, man. Uncle Edwin, man, he ended up playing 44 games for the Yanks because he got hurt, right? Hit 13 homers.
I remember he went like 0 for the first 2 weeks, and then he was kind of
Right.
awesome until he got hurt.
He finished with an 856 OPS with the Yankees. But that year was straight funny business. I mean, that was the Brett Gardner 28 home runs year. Like the whole Yankees lineup OPS starts with an 8. Cameron Maben had an 858 OPS that year.
Our guy. Eric Hinsky.
Yeah. Rookie of the year? Or do I always think that and he didn't win it?
Hey, Ruben Sierra, when they came back in 2003, that was a June trade, which is funny. Ruben Sierra left the Yankees, said he didn't enjoy it. All they care about over there is winning.
Yeah.
Funny quote.
Yeah.
My dad loved that. He was like,
Yeah.
okay, bye. Okay.
Sorry, dude.
You got us, Ruben. We're super into it.
You win.
Then he came back, and he was good when he came back, but I guess that was a June 6th trade. Ruben Sierra. One time we were at the Benson's house, summer of 03, building a tree fort, and I was walking through, and I said, oh, who's at the plate? And they said, Ruben Sierra, is Charlie's little brother. And I said, oh, is he hitting righty or lefty? And I said, righty. And I said, home run. And they homered on the next pitch, and Charlie's little brother looked at me like I was like
Voodoo.
a prophet.
Yeah.
And I never went back for that reason. Hopefully that's a figment in his imagination.
Ruben Sierra was the classic whenever he came up to plate. Like, the broadcasters were required to say, like, he's a really good hitter. The broadcaster was required to say that.
Required.
God.
In 2003, I also went to a game down in Baltimore.
Sure.
My dad took me because they just told us we were moving away, and I was leaving all my friends and stuff, and we were supposed to be there forever, but it was 2 years. We moved there, and 2 years later, we were moving again. Like, what the hell? So I was pretty upset about
Let's
it.
dive more into that.
He's like, well, I was going to be captain of the hockey team because I started as a freshman. And it was like, a pretty cool high school
Seemed like
life.
the stars were aligning.
Seems like it was all happening.
You'd
then
met the best blitzball player in the world.
moved to California where they don't have high school hockey, and it was kind of crushing.
Tri-Valley Devils state
They
champs.
were like, let's go on a train trip to Maryland and watch the Yanks together.
This will make your pain
This'll make
go
you
away.
better. And
Watch
by the way,
Ruben
fix
Sierra.
those holes you punched in the wall.
Yeah.
And Ruben Sierra put on an absolute show down in Baltimore. So
Pretty cool.
yeah, not bad, man, not bad. And I got to see the guys from Yes Ultimate Road Trip, you know, so it was cool. I liked it.
Ruben Sierra played from 1986 to 2006.
Does Greg Maddux have him beat?
I think so.
Maddox was like 80.
Maddox, I think, was like 22 years or something. Like
86 to 2008, I believe.
that. Yeah.
Debuted 86, final game 08.
Yeah.
But 6 games in 86.
All-time pitcher.
Looks like that game that my dad and I went to was Andy Pettit versus Sidney Ponson.
Ooh, the Prince.
Did they trade for him later in the year?
What do we think the Yankees make a trade in June?
Put some parameters around it. Because, like, do I think there's a transaction? Like, yes, they kind of just did.
That affects the major league roster. Like, I was looking at old June trades, and I saw they traded for Connor Cannon. Like, I would not count that. No offense to Connor Cannon.
I mean,
No offense to Connor Cannon.
Connor Cannon's having a great year. Maybe.
I'll look.
I haven't checked. Doesn't he have a brother, too? Caleb Cannon?
The Cannon Bros. Connor Cannon looks like A-ball, Tampa. Oh, okay.
I have bad news for you. Because, like, they already made a June trade. Jake Bowers.
Like, that doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
Like a trade for a guy and their first stop is with the major league team.
Kinda. Like, they have a chance to be on the postseason roster.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, Matt Carpenter was a pickup, not a trade. But that's a move they made.
But yeah, he went straight to the show.
Yeah, so if it's another guy like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they do.
Okay.
Like, but it might just be back end bullpen. Like right now, look at the back of the bullpen.
So that was my only thing. I thought, the way they were using the bullpen, I thought a Wandy or Clay would kind of make sense. At this point, if you're another team and the Yankees are asking about your guy in the bullpen, that's kind of like instant red flag. We need to recoach this guy because he's probably good. And they've kind of fully like reset and rested the bullpen. So that's the only thing you really circle, unless obviously if an outfield blockbuster or another position lined up. But again, they're playing so well. They're on pace for 117 that it would be a reliever. And I think the Yankees, they've reset their pen and they kind of want to see what their young guys got. Clark, Marinaccio. Sorry. Jawline on him.
And the guys that
Yeah, I don't think there's a substantial move in June. Sorry, BBD.
Yeah. And the guys that like are out right now and supposed to come back are like supposed to be impact guys. Chapman and Leisga are big parts of the bullpen, so we don't want to
When are they coming back?
not
Do
be
we
able
know?
to. I feel like they haven't given a timeline on either, and that's fair because they look like they need that. When we last saw
Dude,
them,
I want to say something, but it's so trust tree.
Is it about Stephen Ridings?
No.
Right, because he was a figment of our imagination. There was a man as big as a beanstalk with red hair, and you should have seen him through. Stephen Ridings.
He's not real. That's a collective dream.
That was an honest scouting report.
never seen before or since. We all imagined them.
Like, if you're Steven Ridings, tweet. Be like, here I am.
If you listen to the show and you know Stephen Ridings, have him reach out. Because otherwise, he's a 6'9" man
Dude, but like, what is it?
who threw a baseball as powerful as I've ever seen. And then he disappeared.
I'm going to text Hoke.
Where's Stephen Ridings?
Do you think Steven Ridings was real?
That is the right way to ask.
That's going to put him.
I'll follow it up. Or just a figment of all our imaginations. He read it, so he's on his phone.
Wow, working.
We'll see what he says. He said, like, was he a real human? Yes. Feels like lore at this point.
You might need to send him an audio message of Jake doing the thing he just did.
He said, I spoke to him, but I suppose it could have been a hologram.
Okay, so we don't know.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You should text your other friend.
Ew. Oh, no. That'd be, it's a waste of text on that. It would be wild.
I think he'd love it.
Is Writings ever coming back? Do you even check on him?
Steven Writings.
The last I remember was Max. What's Max's last name? Who covers for Sports Illustrated?
Goodman.
Max
T. Goodman.
Goodman.
Yeah, that's a pretty cool last name.
Like, you know that at some point in his lineage, someone just changed their last name.
Hey, I know great grandpa.
Like, his last name was like Truflaga. They're foreign.
A murderer.
Like Truflaga. And then they moved to America and they're like, so what is it?
Yeah.
They're like, just call me Goodman. Yeah?
Oh, no.
What?
3 weeks ago, Steven Writings throwing from flat ground. 1 week ago, Steven Writings no longer throwing.
Dude. How old is he?
He's reportedly 26 years old.
So if you're
there's still time.
if you're that tall.
Yeah. He's basically 32 years old.
No. It's basically the other way.
Really?
Oh, and you mean
Tall people
death
die
coming sooner?
quicker,
I'm talking about developing your skills as an athlete.
Okay.
They're usually late bloomers.
take a little
and
more
especially
time.
for pitchers.
Yeah.
And he didn't get reps as a starter, so then you got reliever time.
Right.
So he'll probably bloom at 30. If he's ever healthy. That wasn't the fucking trust tree nest I was gonna say.
What do you got?
But I don't want to put this into the ether. That's how I feel about it, you know?
If you like baseball talk and you want to hear Jimmy's secret, you should also go listen to Baseball Today. Chris Rose, Trevor Plouffe. They talk about everything from around the league of baseball. If you just enjoyed the Steven Writings conversation, you would like Baseball Today. They do it live on AMP. You can be a part of the show and participate. Download the AMP app and use code Baseball Today to tune in. Jim, what's the trust tree thing? Are you writing it down?
I was gonna write it down.
Looks like you were gonna write it.
We're gonna write it down and show you.
It seems like you're gonna write it down. He's writing. He's got the pen cap in his mouth.
Good luck.
It's an okay look. Let's not go too far with the look of it all. He's still writing. Ooh, there's a big emphasis at the end. There is something to highlight at the end. Oh, but there's more. He's starting a second line. Okay. Writing a book. Why don't you say it? Why don't you say it? You know,
Dude.
some of the people here are audio learners. Okay. You're passing.
Don't just read that, dude. I don't know if I want to voice that.
I'm going to read it to myself.
You're not going to like it at all.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
There's obviously a chance. There's a chance it's not.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
But that's like my status quo. Like, I've just been like,
I guess the thing we're not talking about.
Yeah. Because I don't want to put it in the ether.
I was surprised. You might remember before the season.
An
bad
awful
toss,
throw to be.
But I think he can read it.
Can you read it from there?
Wow.
Yeah, I don't like that.
No, I mean, there was a guy that some Yankee fans, including yourself and Joez McFly, thought could be really competing for the closer role this year. And he hasn't been a factor of this season at all.
Well, he pitched for a little bit.
Right, but he wasn't like good.
No.
And we're not talking about Johnny Lasagna.
Yeah, we're not talking about him. I'm not saying that. Like, I kind of have the status quo as he's not back end material the whole year. Kind of deals with fatigue and injuries and regroups for next year. It's not what I wrote.
I'm not ready
or maybe it is what I wrote, but I just, when Stanton was on the quick 10-day IL, my brain was like, he's going to come back and he's going to be fucking awesome.
Okay.
with Loizaga. I think he's going to come back and be awesome, but it might not be till next season. I'm just not locking him in as like a guarantor.
And you didn't write that down.
That's not what I wrote
That's
down.
not what you wrote down.
That's what I wrote down. It is what I wrote down. I'm supposed to be honest with the people.
Hey, if we're giving Zack Britton a chance in this season,
Well, that's not true.
I'm still on the Johnny Loizaga train.
If Zack Britton comes back and is part of the team,
Right.
he's a bigger lure than Ridings. He had Tommy John in November.
But did you hear the loophole? He didn't really have Tommy John.
Oh, I didn't hear this. Okay, what happened?
Beebs,
He just fell funny?
I might need you to get on research. They said it very casually during the Yankees game that Zack Britton had like a very unique Tommy John surgery, that it wasn't a true Tommy John surgery. I can't believe I'm remembering this now, because it was...
Well, I know because he also got bone chips removed at the same time, but I didn't know if it wasn't a true TJ.
They said it on the broadcast. Should we hit up like Coney or Kay or something?
Yeah.
I'm trying to...
Or Meredith. Text Meredith. Do you have her number? Because she does all the injury reports. Yeah?
Coney or Kay?
You're calling?
No.
Kay's probably working because he works all the time.
I'll DM Kay.
Kay gets one game off and goes to it.
Yeah.
As a fan. But he
It's a
probably wants to
Sunday
enjoy it with
off.
his kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he brought Charlie.
Yeah.
Hey, am I losing my mind? Or did I hear on the broadcast that Zack Britton didn't have TJ surgery?
According to the chat.
Or a unique TJ surgery? What's the chat got right now?
The chat is saying he had a mini version of Tommy John. That's what Jenny LOL said. Erica said it was a weird type of Tommy John.
Okay.
They didn't have to replace the whole thing. Sean said he had like the Michelob Ultra of Tommy John. I mean, Leofion said they gave him a sleeve during the surgery or something.
Andre said they did some weird thing.
Yeah. Justin Chin chimed in and said sleeve. Reed DeSalvo says they said something like a sleeve of Tommy John.
They probably sleeved the ligament.
Christina said they said it was a version of TJ with a sleeve.
So everyone's on this sleeve thing?
They said it was a sleeve put over the tendon. Now Google Britain sleeve. Yeah.
Sleeve like a shirt sleeve?
Like sneeze, but a lot of the letters are different.
Same ease.
Instead of a V, it's a Z. They hang out those two letters, but they're different.
Don't.
And then instead of SN, it's SL.
Yeah, I mean, this just brought up like articles that also have in there like, what does Brian Cashman have up his sleeve? So, okay.
Wish you would have done a better job.
I know, man. I'm a little bummed out. Come on. It's like, what are you doing, Michael K?
He's working.
So are we.
Should I text Hoke?
Call Brian Hoke.
No.
Come on.
No, dude, there's got to be an article on it somewhere.
You want me to call Brian Hoke? I just clicked on an article where Dan Rourke cited. I'm calling Brian Hoke.
Wait, someone wrote an article and cited Dan Rourke? What'd they cite him for? He's here today, dude. It's some people's first day in the office, and they're dressed very nice because they're on the sales team. And then behind them is Dan Rourke in a cutoff Glaber shirt with a mullet and gym shorts. And it's their first day on the sales team, and you know, Jacob's dressed like all nice, and I was like, oh my God.
He walked by, didn't slow down, and he said, "Hey, I'm Dan." And
Yeah.
he kept going.
I believe Dan's wearing his cutoff Aaron Judge's face. And his shirt says Aaron Judge is the best right fielder in baseball, and it's 3 L's in baseball.
Yeah.
Why is it 3 L's in baseball?
Because he mistyped.
Oh, he made it?
Got excited.
Yeah, he made it a couple years ago. I know the shirt store he's banned from the website because he used Darren Judge's face.
Oh, yeah. Can't do that.
Yeah, he wasn't even selling it. He just made it for himself, but the link existed.
Hello?
Brian, you're live on Talkin' Yanks.
Well, of course I am.
How are you?
What's going on, Jake?
Not too much. We I know James just texted you, and we're not going to talk about that because we ended up in a weird area. Am I taking crazy pills? Don't answer that yet. Did they say on the broadcast the other day that Zack Britton had like a very unique Tommy John surgery? That's part of the reason he's got a chance to come back?
He did. It was done with some kind of experimental tape. I forget the name off the top of my head, but yeah, if you go to yankees.com and check out the injury report, that's all in there. And basically it's a banding instead of I'm not a surgeon. I just play one on TV. But essentially the idea is that you'll be able to come back faster. And the ligament is held together with kind of a heavy tape in some way. And so, bottom line is that, he's already throwing off a mound. And he'll get into game situations as long as there's no setback. And, yeah, they're very realistic about the idea Britton could come back in August or September of this year.
Is there some sort of sleeve in the surgery?
I think so. I'm not the right person
Right.
to talk to on this, but there's some. It's definitely different than the old school, 1970s Tommy John surgery, which they've done for years. But this cuts back on the recovery time, and it should, if everything goes right, then Britton could be in the Yankee bullpen by the end of the season.
It's pretty nuts, huh?
The idea that Tommy John surgery is supposed to take 12 to 18 months, and you can basically lop off 6 months there at the end. That's fantastic. And for Britton, I think that the reason he did this was, he knows that he's under this contract. He wants to get back as fast as possible. And this is a guy who, clearly has been in the big leagues a long time. He's not, a 22-year-old kid. Father time is undefeated, and he wants to get back, and he wants to win a World Series championship. And this is the best way to do it, is to hurry up the rehab and not miss all of the 22 season.
I like that. Thanks, Brian. What are you up to right now?
Oh, just hanging out. I'm actually not in Minnesota. I'm in New York right now. So, I'm off for this 3-game series. So I got Connie with me, the wife, and, we got babysitters back home. So we're going to go out and get some lunch in the city.
Wow. Jimmy just gave a fist pump.
It's good times.
Yeah. So any lunch recommendations around Midtown, you let me know.
Jim?
I don't have any.
We have none.
All right. Thanks for chipping in, Jimmy. It was great to talk to you.
I was mystified by your knowledge.
Sure. Most people are.
Yes. Well, enjoy the off weekend, or off week, I should say.
Yeah, I'll be back at the stadium on Friday, so just a little quick vacation during the homestand.
You got any books or something you want us to tell people to buy?
Well, Mark Feinstein's book is out. You can go check that out. How magnanimous am I that I will pitch Mark Feinstein's book? It came out today. Congratulations to my favorite co-author. He had a little book release party in the city last night, and so went out to kind of toast him. Today is his pub day, so it's called The Franchise, New York Yankees. It's out by Triumph Books, and you can go get that wherever books are sold. That's
why you're the best, Brian Hoke. You're a good guy, and I'm guessing, but I think you're a great lover.
Well, I do have 2 kids. So
yeah,
what you want.
Attaboy. All right, Hokie, we'll let you go. Enjoy your time off.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you.
See you, Brian.
So I found it.
You found it.
All of his words led me to finding it.
Okay.
I'm at caringmedical.com.
Yes.
Caringmedical.com. Internal brace is the key word. Okay. Internal brace. MLB doctors are looking for a better way, because especially did Britton already have Tommy John? Because this is for if guys already had it, definitely they're trying to find a better way.
I think he did.
Yeah. So they did a study on all the findings. And the internal brace procedure currently There is a growing interest in the augmentation of UCL repair with an internal brace. Note the internal brace method is intriguing in its concept, especially for a prolotherapy doctor. Okay. Here, there is no reconstruction surgery, but rather the damaged ligament is repaired with suturing techniques and wrapped in a collagen-based fiber tape as the internal brace. Yeah. So that's what Britton's doing.
Zack Britton's had an incredible career.
Save that for later.
To cap it off with a championship ring this year? Coming back from his sleeveless surgery or whatever?
Yanks end the season 117 wins, up more or less.
No, that's good radio. That's great
Back
radio.
after this.
That's great radio. Answer me honestly. More or less. Okay, so Britton back soon. Oh, he just sent a link to an article.
Who did?
Brian Hoke.
Is it caringmedical.com/prolotherapy news/Tommy John research?
Elitebaseballperformance.com.
Sounds like I don't know.
Can't trust it, really.
Doesn't sound doctory to me.
Can I tell you literally the one thing going through my head right now? Is I want to talk about the surgery with Joez McFly.
Call him up.
You think so?
It's a phone call app.
It's turning into a phone call up?
Call up Joez and say, have you heard about this new surgery?
How about this? I'm going to do this.
They got to.
And Joez will be our surgery and our Minnesota. Oh, there's pictures in there.
Dude, what did Hoke just send me? I'm looking. I mean, it's. Oh, dude.
Are you in an arm right now?
Yeah.
That's
it's kind of interesting because I'm like, how do they band? How do they? But like,
I'm so not into that stuff.
Oh my God, dude. I don't like this at all.
I got to be further.
BBD, have you seen this a lot because your dad?
Not this.
In the room.
He doesn't
Bring your kid to work day?
Look at this.
He's not a surgeon.
Well, yeah.
Also.
The name of the paragraph is from this article is the new procedure a miracle? Oh, dude, that picture's nuts that they just throw that there. Can you show Jake? Can you print it out as a poster and show Jake?
And you can go nuts at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. New customers can bet $5 on any team to win, and you get $150 in free bets no matter what, win or lose. DraftKings, they have their same-game parlays. Those are a lot of fun. And by the way, it's safe, secure, and reliable. Deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use promo code JOHNBOY. Bet just $5 and get $150 in free bets no matter what happens. That's promo code JOHNBOY. DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of Major League Baseball. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. MLB trademarks used with permission.
Can I show you something?
Yeah, man, you are.
This is the guy's skin.
Honestly, crap.
Yeah. That's the outside.
Because right now, if you didn't tell me what that was, I'd say it was like a poorly cooked chicken wing.
No, like that's his.
But yeah, that's the inside of a guy's arm.
Hey, I don't like that at all.
I texted Joe's sup dude, and he hasn't received the text yet, so I'm not sure if I should call him or not.
Okay.
What do you think?
Just send him an audio message.
Okay.
Say, what do you think about this new surgery Britton got? And then he'll send an audio message back. Because we got to move on to Twins.
A little scouting of the Twins. We thought this would be fun. 3-gamer. No game last night. There's some familiar faces on Minnesota. Maybe who's doing well in the last 7 days. You like that type of stuff, Jim.
It's literally the page I have
Is that the page you have up right now?
The page I have up is the last 7 days for the Twins. And who's doing well and who's not. So,
and?
Yeah. Luis Arraez is doing really well because he just puts the ball in play. Buxton's been hitting really well. That's good for him. Good job, Bucky. Jose Miranda, Jorge Polanco. They've been getting some hits. Never mind, Jorge Polanco.
No, bad last 7 days.
Well, he's got 5 hits, which is the 4th most on the team. but it's a 179 average. So the Twins aren't hitting well at all. That's in the last 7 days.
Last 7 days, they're not hitting well.
Yeah.
Damn. That stinks.
Gary Sanchez. Gary has 2 homers, though, in the last 7 days. And Gio isn't hitting that well in the last 7 days either. Gary's having, a plush year offensively. You wouldn't like the batting average or on base, but the OPS and the OPS plus are there. But, yeah, it's not great.
I mean, I just debagged Joez. He just replied back, so I'm just going to call him instantly, which is just a trap.
That's such a trap, dude.
Because now he's the bad guy.
Now he has to answer because
I trapped him.
You trapped him. That's rude of you. He's not going to answer because Joez doesn't care.
Yo.
Joez, you're live on Talkin Yanks.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm glad you told me that first. About to say something crazy.
What were you going to say?
I don't remember anymore.
Oh, okay. That worked
I'm
out.
talking Yanks. What's up?
You called us.
I called you?
We called you. We have a couple things we needed to ask you about. You're our official scout of opposing teams, so we want to get your thoughts on the Twins and your thoughts on Zack Britton's surgery. You said you knew, because it was a really unique surgery. You said you knew stuff about it.
I thought he said he had it.
You know, this is Joez McFly, right? They call him. So,
Jimmy said you had the surgery.
I did. I don't know. I've never had that surgery.
Was it you just thought about having it?
I never had a Tommy John surgery. On my left elbow? Righty.
Okay.
You want me to scout the Twins?
What's your scouting report on the Twins? We're looking at their team right now.
Okay. Well, the Twins, they're finally realizing some potential of theirs.
Okay.
They're hitting the ball. Gary's better. However, they are still the Twins. And it's the Central. And it's the Yankees. So, death taxes, Yankees beating the Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, I did a Twins radio thing, and they were tougher on the Twins than I ever was. They said in the last 20 years in the regular season, the Twins are 34-81 against the Yankees or something.
Man, yeah, they're not really too optimistic about Twins-Yankees stuff, which is fine. I'll take that because it seeps into the players' heads too. But I'm anxious to see what Gary's going to do. And
he's going to hit one homer, and Gio's going to make a nice defensive play. Jimmy pegged that.
Yeah, just one homer the whole series. I think he's going to try to do that every at bat. He's going to try to do that every at bat.
You're thinking Gary's going to go off?
I think Gary might go off this series. I think the Yankees need to watch him.
Really?
I think he Gary has that kind of stuff in him. That's a possibility. So let's hope not. But I think he might.
And you didn't have the surgery?
What surgery? Are you talking about Britton?
Yeah.
I've never had that surgery. I don't even picture my left hand.
It must have been someone else. Was it Chris McFly?
Marty McFly.
Yeah. Okay.
Who's this picture that they have going for them today? I don't know who this is.
Yeah.
What is going on? What?
It's not good.
Sam.
Better be a hit parade. Hit parade tonight. Looks like a bullpen day for them. He doesn't even go deep into games.
Hit parade tonight.
Yeah. All right, let's guess the lineup.
We're going to guess the lineup. What do you got?
I think we might see some Carpenter. Are you putting Stanton in the outfield? I don't know. Have they done that yet?
I mean, Stanton's played the outfield. He hasn't played left field yet.
Why would he play left field? Oh, because you're thinking Gallo?
We're guessing the lineup, Joez. I don't know. Don't yell at me.
I'm not yelling at you.
Oh, that sounded like you got a little louder.
I did not. I'm not yelling. I'm just saying. All right. I would like to see some lefties in there, but I'm not too excited about Gallo. If Gallo can't hit, you don't want to put Gallo in the lineup. If he can't hit this guy, man, I don't know. Put him in the lineup. Let me see. You know what, Hicks? Put Hicks in there. Go ahead. Put Hicks in there.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. I would like to see some Carpenter, too, somehow, some way. I don't know where he would play, but we might see a Rizzo homer today.
Oh.
Yeah, he's got to get hot. Plus, remember, he's getting hot this month. This is his hot month, right?
Right, his every other.
Every other, So he's hot this month, so going into the Cubs series, he can't be cold, so he's going to have to hit a homer tonight. So why not?
Okay.
Judge, obviously, in the lineup somewhere. DJ, leading off. Giancarlo, he's my pick to click for this whole series.
Oh, that'd be cool. If he hits a bunch of home runs this series.
Yeah, I think he's gonna get on a little heater here. And Trevino?
He should be.
And Trevino should be in the lineup. IKF and Glaber. Not in that order, obviously. We're not doing that order. This is not Talking Yanks pregame show, I'm assuming.
Joez, I'm going through a tunnel. I got to call you back.
How are you going through a tunnel?
He named all the players.
He didn't
make the lineup at all.
He didn't say positions or where batting order. He just named them.
He named like every player.
Yeah, he
texted me lies.
Take a picture of you in a tunnel. Maybe can you just stand over Jake in the shape of a tunnel? Okay. All right. I have a lineup. It's tough today, actually. That's good. It's a tough guess to line up. Want to know why?
Why is that?
Because Donaldson or Stanton or DJ.
He didn't say Donaldson.
What?
That was one of the only Yankees Joez didn't mention.
I'm doing something else. Okay. I'm doing my own lineup. Donaldson, Stanton, or DJ. One of them has to sit.
Right.
I think. Because, one of them has to sit, I think.
It's not Giancarlo. He sat last game.
Or you DH Donaldson.
Right.
What if you do that, then you have Carpenter sitting, and I think lefty Carpenter,
right?
They'd want more than DH Donaldson. Like if Donaldson's not playing the field, just give him the day off and use lefty Carpenter while he's hot. So I think DJ leads off and plays third. Judge bats second and plays center. Rizzo at first base, hitting third. Stanton in right field, batting fourth. This is decision making you have to make. And then, and I don't know, I would guess maybe Carpenter, DH, then Glaber at second, Kiner at short,
so
Trevino.
No DJ.
I had him leading off playing third.
So Donaldson's DHing.
No, I just removed him for Carpenter.
Donaldson's out.
That's the decision. Because if Donaldson's DHing and it's a righty pitcher, wouldn't you just, Carpenter's been hot and Carpenter's been DHing and Donaldson hasn't.
Back into it.
Yeah. I don't know. It's tough. And then Kiner short, Trevino catcher, and then I have Gallo in left field. Because again, you have to pull that Band-Aid and go put him back in left field. And like Judge said, it's a unproven righty. So if Gallo's getting hot, that's who you get hot against. But that leaves Hicks on the bench.
Yeah, I guess in my head, I see the Yankees. Minnesota has some good memories for Aaron Hicks, so I could see them trying to tap into something there. I guess what I want to see.
If they play Hicks, then Stan has to DH, and then Donaldson and Carpenter are both on the bench.
So what's interesting here, so tomorrow's pitcher, and I'm going to try to reverse engineer this, Jim. Tomorrow's pitcher is Chris Archer,
Yeah.
who a lot of these guys have experience against. So Donaldson, his answer actually doesn't help at all. Donaldson has a mixed history. He has 3 homers, but like that's about it against Archer.
There's 2 players on the Yankees that have homers in their history off Archer, and it's Carpenter and Donaldson.
So do you save them for tomorrow?
And both of them, it's a homer and it's homers and kind of nothing else.
I don't know. It's kind of tough now because if Hicks is playing, that means that you lose both Carpenter and Donaldson, or both Carpenter and DJ.
You have to have Hicks or Gallo on the bench tonight, so it could be either. But you have to, because Marwin's going to be on the bench. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Plays every position. One of the catchers is going to be on the bench. Plays every position.
Mm-hmm.
If we're getting into Carpenter's, Donaldson's, Stanton's, Hicks or Gallo has to be on the bench.
Yeah.
So I will say Hicks. And then you still need another one. I kind of like what you were saying with Donaldson, but
I think there's a chance they do a double off day because they just did that to Stanton. Him coming
Right.
back, they double off day.
Yeah.
So get Donaldson on the other side of that.
And the other thought process is that, like, it doesn't make sense to DH Donaldson against a righty when you can have a lefty DH against the righty, and then because Carpenter's not playing the field, he's DHing or bench. Donaldson then, you use the DH as a half rest day. It's like, we'll just rest him and play the better matchup.
They also seem like they might be liking Carpenter as their pinch hit for the catcher at some point.
Oh,
yeah.
that's
Seems
true.
Like that could be a formula moving forward.
Yeah, if they want to pinch hit him, then you can start JD and then pinch hit him. Or you do it the opposite way and you just pinch hit JD. Yeah. One of Hicks or Gallo has to sit. Otherwise you're sitting 2 good players.
Otherwise, it's a lineup we're upset to see.
Are you texting Joez? He's in the chat.
Yeah, he just sent a screenshot where Pinstripe Strong said a tunnel, ? Jake Storch, my man, said he named everyone but Higgy. Mighty Machismo said a tunnel of love. And then Jake Storch followed up and said, Joez, are you sure you didn't have the surgery? Because that never got answered.
He didn't answer it. I said
He was very dodgy about it.
he just said Zack Britton,
Yeah.
Tommy John.
I had that.
Yeah.
Wait.
And he said, I'm not even a lefty, but Glaber had it on his offhand.
Right.
So, and he knows that.
I would tweet at Joe's and say, excuse me, did you have Tommy John surgery?
All he has to do is post a picture of both elbows. No scar, we believe him.
That's all he has to do.
That's all he has to do, clear up those rumors. I'll post mine.
Carpenter on the bench?
No, I like Carpenter starting and Donaldson as the pinch hitter.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Right.
Not really confident in this one. I just hope that Hicks, first place Minnesota team.
Right.
So they should play their best lineup on the road.
Right. Like they should.
Like they don't treat this like Baltimore, which we're
Right.
allowed now. Whatever, we're so good. They're 24 games over that next time we play the Tigers or whatever, like you can do some stuff, but this is a first place Minnesota team. Let's use it as a challenge. We're on the road.
Right.
Let's play our best guys.
I kind of had the same realization a couple minutes ago where I said Hicks or Gallo has to be on the bench. We're playing a first place team. We had an off day yesterday.
And there's another off day coming up soon.
Right.
That's why I think Judge might ride out the series in center.
I don't think they'll do that. They'll get Hicks a start in center.
He did it in Tampa.
Yeah. Let's go Yanks.
Let's go Yanks. Thanks for tuning in. We appreciate you.
Thanks to Brian Hoke. Thanks to Joez McFly. Can you believe it? What an episode.
And thanks to EliteBaseballDaily.com.
Yeah.
Thanks to my grandma.
Definitely get Judge a thing.
Go Yanks. Tell him, Grams. Oh.
Go Yankees.